If you clicked on this video, most likely you have an electrician business and you probably provide really great services. But the overall gap you're currently experiencing is you're not getting as many recognition or visibility online to help you scale and get more customers. So in this video, I'm gonna break down the step-by-step electrician SEO strategy you should be implementing today, signups, and start getting a lot more qualified leads organically online. I'm gonna break this down to you guys all for free. And the thing is, SEO doesn't have to be complicated. Typically, people say it takes about 3 months, but I'm gonna show you the exact strategy that will hypercharge a lot of visibility and pretty much outperform a lot of your competitors. So starting off with step one is going to be your foundational research. So we're going to start off with keyword research. So this is going to pretty much break down exactly all the data that you need for your target audience, what they're searching for. So pretty much a free tool you can start off with to find what people are searching for. Because at the end of the day, if you're pretty much optimizing for keywords no one's searching for, you're not going to be in the best positioning. So I would suggest using Google Ads. So this is a free keyword planner tool. So if you go into tools, go under planning, you can go under keyword planner. So this is going to be the research phase again to figure out exactly what you should be pretty much trying to target in terms of visibility. So if we go to discover your keywords, let's do something like electrician, which would be broad. And then we'll get results within a lot of these keywords. So it's going to pull a lot of keywords that pretty much are relevant to the overall seeded keywords that you have. So the overall goal with this is you want to figure out exactly what type of services you're offering. So obviously the overall topic is going to be electrician, but there's different types of subcategories that people would search for, right? So if we can go here, I like just clearing out a lot of the branded keywords. That keyword planner pretty much branches out. So we have other brands. Let's clear that out. So right now we're only focusing on non-branded keywords, meaning keywords that don't contain brands. And it's, people who don't know who you are as a brand, but know exactly what type of service they're looking for, right? So then if we look at the different types of services here that people are searching for, is you have home electrician, residential electrician, emergency electrician, etc., and then different sectors, different wording as well. So we can see here a bunch of different type of keywords people are searching for, the average monthly search, and then how competitive it is. So since we're more of a local market, if you're going to be optimizing within a local market, this is going to vary a lot more, right? It would probably be more competitive to rank in NYC than somewhere I don't know, the local town within Wyoming or something like that. So don't worry about the competition level, just worry about what people are searching for and what type of keywords you should be ranking for. So you can always download a lot of these keywords ideas and then pretty much put them within a spreadsheet. But again, you want to see what people are searching for, and then you can also see the overall cost in terms of Google Ads. So if you do rank for this, you're probably gonna be saving a lot more money. So we have a lot of near me terms, 24-hour electrician, electrician repair, etc. So you can go through these and pretty much identify your top core keywords. But again, it's pretty broad. So what I would do is I would also search for exactly what type of services you're offering aside from your broad overall, I guess, pillar topic. We can do something like electrical panel installation. I know characters. Electrical installation. Get results from here. Then again, you can pretty much get a list of a lot of these keywords in general. So you have replacing circuit breaker, main panel surge protector, talking about costs, replace breaker box. And again, you have a lot of these search metrics. So another really quick tip you can do is pretty much look at your competitors and use a tool like Ahrefs to reverse engineer exactly what type of keywords they're ranking for. So I just grabbed a random electrician site here where they're ranking for about 18 keywords and averaging about 200 organic estimated traffic to their site organically. So then we can also see and break down exactly the type of keywords they're ranking for, the overall keyword difficulty, and then where are they in terms of positioning. So we can see here that they're also ranking for pretty much service areas, which is another good strategy you can do. So diving into like the keyword research tool. So if I look at for phrases containing electrician Jersey, we can pretty much see the overall search volume and keyword difficulty again for a lot of the service pages. So we have like our service areas. So we have like Edison, New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, etc. And we can see here how much searches it's averaging a month. So in this case, it's 80 searches a month. So aside from breaking down exactly every individual service that you do, so like, rewiring, indoor, outdoor lighting, you want to create specific landing pages for each of these based on a lot of these keywords, and make sure you have these keywords where it's going to be the main focus area for a lot of these. So another strategy again is you can create like a service hub page and create individual pages targeting the service areas you're targeting, and starting off with what has the most amount of search volume. So that's another good way. And then that way you're a lot more targeted. So if anyone's searching for like example, like they're based within Wayne, New Jersey, if they search for electrician near me, most likely Google's going to understand the ranking signals, and it's going to serve your landing page specifically for people who has IPs within Wayne, New Jersey. So let me break down exactly how this looks like into practice regarding the keywords you've pretty much curated after your research, on how it would look like after you implement them and optimize them within your website. So obviously you have to design your website and create every specific page that you want to target. So I landed within this website. So they're pretty much electricians within New York City. And I think the overall structure of this website would give like really good examples of like how and what I'm talking about. So if we look at exactly their backend structure, so this is the title tag and meta description. So this is how it would look like if they searched within Google and you see like that listing, depending on like the keywords they're searching for. So their homepage is pretty much optimized for electricians in New York City. So we can see here within that meta title tag that they have exactly like top rated, fully licensed electrician in NYC. So if you don't really have that targeted keyword within your content, how do you expect to rank for it if you're not mentioning it? So it's going to be pretty hard for like the search engines to fully understand that. So again, they have their meta description really short and sweet, telling about how the electricians are doing a residential, commercial, and industrial throughout like Brooklyn, New York. And if we're looking at the core structure of the content, so there's different headers. You have like the H1, H2, H3, and this gives more an understanding of the architecture and the overall hierarchy you have within your content. So you should have only one H1, and this would serve as more like your overall title within that. So this is most important to have like your target keyword. So they have like New York City licensed master electrician. It seems like they needed to space this out though, and they have and electrical contractor. So then they break down into exactly like the hierarchy within each of these. So they have Brooklyn electrician license, contractor, breaks down into the services they have, obviously terms and condition, and they have like the best electricians in New York City. You see how like they have pretty much a lot of keyword density that fits naturally throughout the text. And you can see here exactly like how this is structured, really, really well structured. Then they also have frequently asked questions to pretty much rank for a lot of the keywords, question and long tail keywords people would be asking that are more top of the funnel. So aside from that, they've broken down exactly all of their services that they have. So they're doing like ceiling fan installation, hot tub appliance, basically listing every single thing out and creating it as an individual landing page and optimizing for that. So if we look at the structure of this, we can see here again, they have ceiling fan installation, the brand name here, and then also in the headings 1H1, residential ceiling fan installations, etc., etc. So again, all of these pretty much serve as individual landing pages. So if anyone's searching for like ceiling fan installation within New York City, most likely this is probably going to be ranking a lot more higher. And again, same thing for every single one of these services. So that way you're matching the intent people are searching for based on their overall needs and services. And then they also broke it down to like commercial. So this is exactly what you should be doing with your business. So that way you're targeting every single search query that has that targeted intent for your, specific customer. That way you have higher quality leads and it matches up with the services that you offer as well. And then we can see here that they have an areas we serve section as well too. So everything I just broke down where you're creating landing pages specifically for all the areas you're serving. If we click here, I think it might lead me exactly here. So we have like Brooklyn electrician. So they're ranking for people searching for electricians within Brooklyn, and then all of their other areas. So they have Manhattan, Queens, Bronx, Staten Island, etc., etc. And what's pretty cool as well too is that they have their office address here, which is extremely important. And you can see that the Google Maps embed specifically from their Google business profile into their site. So that way Google has a correlation between your site and your Google business profile. So after you have a pretty much foundational setup for your site, you have, keywords optimized for all your specific services, service areas, etc. You need to also optimize your Google Maps, because the importance of Google Maps, it's not just, a navigational tool, but this is another form of pretty much discovery people can find for your local business. So if we look at the SERPs and pretty much how that's structured, so if somebody searches for like electricians near me, you can see here the Google business profiles pretty much trump over the organic search listings. So a majority of your customers are going to come through Google business profile. So optimizing this is going to be extremely important. And again, this pretty much goes hand in hand though. Like if you have really good visibility within the SERP listings with the strategy I just gave you, most likely if you have it linked to your site, Google is going to incorporate that and understand like they're linked together as an entity. That's also going to help you rank higher within Google Maps. But some other factors that you can consider is the Google Maps business name. So obviously you don't want to keyword stuff within your title, but you want to have it as relevant as possible. So if we're looking at it from like this one search, we can see here within the name, people have like NIM, electrical contractors. We have absolute electrical service. You can see how it's pretty much similar to, and it has like that keyword within the name, your business name, making it easier for Google to understand and correlate exactly the search intent. Another thing is NAP consistency, which is one of the most important factors. So just like how I highlighted how they have their address here, and then they also have the phone number. So NAP stands for name, address, and phone number. So you want to have that consistent throughout the entire web, not just within your website. But obviously the most important part right now is having it within your website. But once you do have this, pretty much you want to create directories. So think of Yellow Pages, Yelp, etc., where it contains that NAP consistency. So that way Google understands the entity and the relevance of your business, helping you drive more visibility within that. So we'll break down exactly how do you optimize your Google business profile. So I'm just going to showcase one client. I optimized it for. They're not an electrician, but it's pretty much a good example to showcase. So their name is Midnight Customs, but within Midnight Customs, I sort of implemented a little bit more of like keywords based on what they offer, and then obviously making sure we're up to on point in terms of like the amount of reviews. So reviews obviously play a huge role, and then if you look at edit profile within the description as well, to pretty much trying to implement a lot of the keywords, the core keywords based on the core services that we offer, and implement that as well too. So the keyword research you initially do is going to serve a purpose in optimizing your Google business profile. Then I'm obviously adding in a lot of like your social profiles. That way you give more of like that entity boost. Google understands and correlates your social media profiles with that. Obviously links to your website. And another thing is you want to create individual service pages based on the services that you offer. So there's multiple categories you can add this to. So in this case, I broke it down to like vehicle wrapping services, car detailing, and window tinting services. So these are preset categories within Google Business Profile. And then I've created individual services within each. So just like I said, exactly, make sure you list every single service that you offer, create landing pages, but you also want to create services within Google Business Profile. So obviously we added in like the one core service that we do, which is like vinyl car wraps. Then we have a service description. So with the service description, try to incorporate a lot of those, keywords and also local elements within your service description. So for example, we did here, we did like car wraps in Jacksonville, Florida. And then we also added like the brand name here as well too. So really, really good. So that way you have more context and you start ranking a lot higher within the search engines. So another really important factor is off-page SEO, meaning how many people are pretty much linking back to your site from another site. And obviously relevancy plays a huge factor, but if we're looking at this score, so this is domain rating. So pretty much what domain rating is how authoritative your site is based on how many people are linking to you. So every link you can think of as like a vote of confidence. And this is like the main core ranking factor from PageRank. for the Google search algorithm. So obviously creating directories will help out in terms of creating like a lot of like domain authority, because a lot of these directories are going to be linking back to your site. So think like Yelp linking back to your site, Yellow Pages, etc. But again, you still want to reach out to other relevant websites that can link back towards you. And this is done through a form of like you can outreach to them, or you can use a platform like Haro. I'm not going to go too in depth with that because I did create a video within that. I can go a whole day on different strategies, but pretty much I'm using Ahrefs again. So if we look at the backlink profile, you can see exactly how many people are linking to that one website that we reviewed together. So we can see here, like the anchor text plays a huge part too. So like we have AZ Cabinet Company. I'm looking back to the daveanelectric.com, and then the way they're linking to it is they're hyperlinking commercial electrician in Manhattan. So again, just giving a lot more signals directly to their page and helping Google understand exactly the relevance. But obviously you don't want like a pet store linking back to your electrician site, right? But you want like another electrician preferably, or a blog that talks about like energy savings in general. So we can see here, Yellow Pages as well, linking back to that specific website. But again, building a lot of this would build authority, bridging the gap in between your competitions in general. But yeah, hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If you do need help in terms of creating your website or developing an SEO strategy tailored to your brand, there's a link in the description where you can get a free video audit, or you can also hop on a discovery call with me as well, and I can help out if needed. But yeah, hopefully you guys found value in this. Leave a like if you did, comment if you have any questions, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.